In case anybody runs into my wife, I want you to know I sat her down last night and I said, honey, I've got some really, really bad news. 26 years of marriage, and I think it's time for me to go a different direction. So I'm getting a divorce and I'm moving out. She looked at me and said, so what's the bad news? I don't know. Now, this is not my normal scenario thing and everything, but I got a 13,000 square foot building and they're putting a new roof on the whole thing, so it's noisy on the other side. Okay, I'm going to do a little short thing today. And when I get through, you're going to say, I already knew that. No, you're going to say, I'm already doing that. You just didn't put the numbers together, okay? I think I'm basically saying you can buy a home or you can put $1,300 a month in savings. One or the other. You can rent, live with your parents, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your ex, whatever, and put $1,300 a month. I don't know how many of y'all can put $1,300 a month in savings. Or you can buy a house and do the same thing. You probably figured it out. Now, we're talking about appreciation. That's one of two, three things. And there's highs and lows in appreciation, okay? The lows, 2007 to 2011, I believe, appreciation on homes actually declined, okay? In fact, if you remember 08, I still get headaches when I think of 08. I think they went, home prices declined about 10%. I owned the largest real estate company in Northeast Louisiana. I owned a mortgage company, title company, flooring company, and by the grace of God did I survive 08. Now, movies, have you seen The Big Short? If you haven't, a lot of cussing, I apologize for that. Big Short tells you what happened in 08. But they declined those 3-4 years. The highs, 21 and 22, 2021 and 22, appreciation was about 18%. 18%. Those were the COVID years. Those were whatever, okay? But those highs and lows, in my opinion, are anomalies. The reality is, over the past 40 years, the average appreciation in a home has been right at 5%. Now, last 10 years, it may be 7%, but over 40 years, the average appreciation has been about 5%. So let's look at that. Let's just say 10 years ago in 2016, we'll say, you bought a $200,000 home, and let's say you got a 100% loan. There are 100% loans out there, but just make the numbers work. You bought a $200,000 house and got a $200,000 loan at a 5% interest rate on the loan, okay? Well, at 5% a year over 10 years, I know what you're going to be thinking here. I'm saying after 10 years, with that appreciation, the value of that home is now $326,000. That's $126,000. I know. You're saying 5% a year for 10 years is 50%, and 50% of 200 is 100,000. No, because the first year it appreciates 5%, and now it's worth $210,000. The next year, the 5% is based on the 210, so that goes up every year. So it's worth like $326,000 10 years later in 26. Now, the other thing is that $200,000 loan you got after 10 years, your principal balance is now down to $163,000. So you take 326 minus 163, and coincidentally, you get 163. So now you say, well, we've got $163,000 equity in that house. Well, one other thing, it depends on if you itemize your taxes or you use the standard deduction. A lot of people standardize now, okay, the standard deduction. But a lot of people do itemize if you have an investment. If you itemize, then you can deduct that interest. That interest that you have paid on those 10 years is $91,000 interest, okay? And you can deduct that on your taxes, as most of you know. Now, tax rates, I think, run, 10 to 37%. Let's just take a 24% middle-of-the-road tax rate. Well, that's another $22,000. Another 22 added to your 163. Now you're up $185,000 in 10 years. And you haven't saved a penny. You haven't put a penny back. You haven't taken any money out of your payroll. You go to Waffle House and Sonic and don't have to save a penny. And after 10 years, you now have $185,000. That's $1,542 a month. $1,542 a month by owning a $200,000 house. Now, you could say, well, I can save $1,200 a month. If you save $1,200 a month at 3% interest, you'll probably come out about the same. But why put $1,200 a month? I mean, how much money do you make, okay? So, buying a home, 40 years, you can't go wrong, okay? And as I said in a recent podcast or 2 or 3 podcasts ago, you buy the first house, whether it's the house you love or not, you buy it, keep it 6 months, rent it out, go buy another one. Now you're up to like $400,000. It's not hard to get to $1 million on that, okay? You got to start, though. You can't wait till you're 98 years old and do it, okay? You got to start when you're early. All right, that was a short podcast. I was doing extra. Y'all know I do songs and podcasts, and I don't know what else I did, radio show 20 years. But I'm most famous for my Sonic moments, so click on Sonic Moments. God bless.